we talk about that a lot about our cup being full or empty, or
Mm-hmm.
and like we talked about the seasons earlier, and I think that's like where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you too, but I know I'm definitely going into a new season, or I'm in that season. I'm trying to figure me out
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out where I'm at, where I'm going. And it's crazy because I've been thinking about that a lot, and things that come up on my phone or things that I'm reading,
Yep.
everything says, okay, life really starts in your 40s
Mm-hmm.
for me. And then I'm just like, okay. And just really trying to figure that out. Like that when I remember when I was pregnant and the book, What
Mm-hmm.
to Expect When Expecting,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yes.
so that's a whole book on, okay, first time moms and all of that. And I remember reading that book from front to back,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was
Yep.
so on point,
Yeah.
you
And the
know.
chicken noodle soup,
Oh
chicken
yeah,
noodle,
yes.
right?
Chicken Noodle Soup books, the self care books.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now like the season I'm in, I need a book. Or this is
Mm-hmm.
This
I
this
need
is
this kind
our
of
book.
community, right?
Yeah.
For me, like I have 21-year-old, 17-year-old. My 21-year-old is graduating from college. My
Mm-hmm.
17-year-old is um, almost done with high school. Uh, and I'm trying to figure out like, where I am
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. And it's different. Parenting is different.
It,
I'm different
and
as
you have to
Yeah.
move differently as your children age and change.
But see, that's the thing, as your children, and that's how I like we yes, as our children, but as women, I can only speak for me, but as women, as mothers, as wives, as all of
Mm-hmm.
that, that's kind of like, and we talked about this, like,
Yeah.
okay, our children are this, but
Yep.
now for me, like, I'm trying to figure out, okay, where's Tanya
I
go?
think that for me, it's we're all just going through life for the first time. So
Yes.
it's so we don't know what it's like to be, a 50-year-old or to be a parent of a child that's a little bit older. We only know what we've already
Experienced.
experienced.
Exactly.
So we know like, okay, being the mom and
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all new, and we're going to like a new chapter of parenting
Mm-hmm.
and even just adulthood for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I feel like um, everything's just new,
It's
and I
new.
feel like, and
Definitely
then I
new.
think that you start to look at your life and how much time, because I think when you get to that 50 you start thinking, oh wow,
Shit, what
50.
have I done?
Yeah, exactly. You think
Did I do
life
enough?
is,
Am I
I know I do, I get
where?
morbid, and
Yeah.
then I start thinking about
Well, see, that's the
like
thing that changed
going
me.
going
Yeah.
on and thinking, wow, well, what do I care what this one thinks or what that one? I'm like, I'm 50 years old, I'm a grown up, I'm an adult, but then sometimes I'm like, an adult. Like my mom's an adult. Like she's the parent. She's the grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
no, you're the adult and you're the parent.
No, but you made a really good point about where you're like, no, I'm not the adult yet because my mother is still the adult. Where I feel myself, I'm in a different place. And I say this because one, I'm already empty nesting, which yeah, I have an adult house and
Yeah.
it is bomb.
Yeah, it is.
Not for nothing. Yes,
We talked
you
about
guys
that.
we've
Yeah.
talked about it. You
Uh,
know, um, it's something very different. It
yeah.
is a different chapter, right? And now where my mother has Alzheimer's, I no longer feel that she's the adult,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
even though she wants to act in that manner. It's very easy for me to see that what she's saying or doing is not appropriate for adulthood, right? So I am embracing that aspect,
Mm-hmm.
which in itself is difficult for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, we're still. Well, I have younger than you.
Yeah.
You know, yours driving and in college, but I still have like a little. I think of you as my little one. She's still home. That like
Right.
And I've
I
done that.
have a long way to go.
Yeah,
before
I'm
I'm
done
empty.
with that. I went through it, did it. Yep. I didn't have like the 20-year-old experience that you two had because I already had a child. I was already home, take care of your child, whatever have you. And now I'm in a new place.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a really nice sense of
You're in a good place,
freedom.
Angie.
I'm in such a
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
such I am.
your girls are doing
And
well, and you like, and that's why I guess I have to break it down in seasons. You're like your
Yeah.
season right now is you and your husband
Mhm.
and your girls, but your girls are doing great, and you and your husband, and like you said, the empty nester, and you guys are navigating that in a different way, you know. And like for me, um, and I mentioned it before, you know, my son graduated, my daughter's in high school, so
You're like half. You got
yeah,
like
it's
one
different.
foot out.
I love
one
it. I
foot
love
in,
what
right?
I'm experiencing. I love it. Like I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next, but I'm also nervous and
A little bit sad.
oh, I'm so sad. Not a little bit. Well, no, no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
From
and I don't know how to figure that out. And
Yeah.
so when I talked about, you know, the community and women experiencing what we're experiencing, you've already experienced it, and
look,
you will experience
Mhm.
it.
Well,
You know, like the women that have experienced it, you know, absolutely chime in because like I don't. It's all new.
It's all new.
How do you
It's all
navigate
new.
that? Like
right.
when my son comes home and Christian, he's right here, and this is even weird. Like sometimes, like we're right here talking about this, and he's, you know, behind the scenes, and what we're talking about, he's listening to, and that's
Hearing your
uncomfortable sometimes, you know, for me.
yeah.
But I'm also proud of him, and I'm happy that we have this relationship that we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
But I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But like when he comes home, you know, I'm like, okay, where are you going? All right, I'm going here. Well, you need to be home at this time.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a little
and
funky.
he's like,
you have to figure out.
But yes, you
yeah,
do. And I
how
don't
to
care. And I know
parent.
you're listening to this. I
Yeah.
don't care. You're under my roof. I don't care.
Right.
Like you're not coming home 6 o'clock in the morning.
No.
I don't.
Yeah, no one's
Right.
ever doing that. Just
I
think that,
I could be a little sarcastic, but still, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
get
then
it.
it's just like there's just, and so I'm learning, they're learning, and so I just feel like for me, it's a lot, and that's only one part of
Everything.
Oh, I know.
everything else I'm going
Yeah.
through.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, I talk to Lindsay about this a lot because she's going through a
Right.
lot of the things that I'm going through.
Right.
Versus you,
That's done it.
and
But
even though you
so-
have Marlo that's 21,
She's already
Marlo
been
is
out
in
of
a
the
different
house.
place than what my Christian, who is 21, is. And your
Mhm.
junior, who you'll talk about, he'll be 21
He'll be
soon,
21
right?
in June.
Yep.
He's in a different place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can, touch on that. But I feel like sometimes when it comes to like our kids, young adults, all of that,
Mhm.
I'm able to bounce things off.
Yeah.
Both of us. But
well, I think that the two of you, because you're experiencing it pretty much simultaneously,
Yeah.
it's easier for you to go back and forth. Where I've already gone through it, and so I think that you've actually stated it before, where I've gone through it. That aspect of my motherhood has changed,
definitely.
right? And now it's more of a friendship and making sure that my girls and I stay connected and know that, I'm always their mom, but I'm more of the friend at this point. you see that, and you know, like, okay, there's definitely positives of the empty nesting. Yes, it's a grieving point because we've had our children since they were inside of us. It's so very different when now they need to leave. And who are we to hold them back and not allow them to go? Right. And with the two of you, because I'm the outside person in this aspect of our lives, I felt like you grieved a lot more with Junior than you have with Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because Junior straight away went away.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was moved, displaced, out of state, everything, where you have to go to him to visit.
Yeah.
Where Christian still
Mhm.
comes home.
Yeah,
He's a
it's
phone
definitely
call
different.
away.
Yeah.
He's a ride, an hour away, whatever. You can get to him a lot quicker than what Lindsay can to
Mhm.
Junior. So I feel that. And I actually feel your apprehension for Niall.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I already know when they actually go really far away. My son is in the Air Force and he's in California, and so he's so far away. And
Yeah.
then just I saw the change in the household and the dynamic
Within the children.
within the children, within the
Yeah.
whole family, how
Yeah.
different. And it was funny because somebody said that to me. They were like, "Oh, when he leaves, it's going to be different." And I was like, "Oh no, we're always going to be family." And no, it doesn't. Like it's just little things. Like when for a while we'd go out to eat, and I'd be like 6, and then I'm like, "Oh no, 5.
Yeah.
It's only 5 of us."
Yeah.
It's just totally different. Something so small would just get me and be like, "Oh wow," it's
Mhm. And you
just that.
are
And then
not-
knowing how it is once they leave and
Yeah.
whether or not, and I don't know, he may decide to come home. He may decide to stay and live somewhere else in the country. That's up to him. But yeah. So knowing Niall's going to move on and decide where he wants to go to school, yes, I'm very sad, and I know that feeling. So and then yeah, emotional
Yeah, very much so.
because I know the dynamic is going to change. Left with girls.
Girls. You just looking. So the two of them both have boys and girls. I'm the fortunate one to only have girls. And let me tell you, they always say, "Oh, girls are easier. Girls are certain phases. Yes, they're easier. But let me tell you, girls, from what I have seen, especially from your boys, are way more demanding."
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm
I think
wrong.
each child has their own, like we would. I think we talked about this, about you parent each child differently because
Yes.
again, you're in a different season. The first one, you're a new mom, a new parent, so you're like extra on top of it. You're reading the books.
Mhm.
You're taking down notes. You're documenting everything. You're taking more pictures. You're filling out the baby book.
Yeah.
You're like doing all those things. And then the second one comes along, and then
It's a little less.
Slide
I
a little
know this.
bit,
I got this.
you know. And then like I said, each child.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I have 4, so each one was different.
Mhm.
And you parent them different because you yourself are different. You're a different mom. You're a different wife. You're a different person.
I love that you said that because you know what? I didn't reflect upon that it was a part of me being different.
Yeah.
I've only reflected upon the fact that my girls were
No,
different.
you were different.
So I needed
You
to
were
be
different. You were different
for
age.
them.
Look like
I
your
was,
age.
yeah.
How young you were.
Right. So I was 19 when I had my eldest, and that's Jai, which is 28 now. And then I was 25 when I had my youngest, which is Marlo.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and everything was different.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you raise them and as they get older, you get older, and then you
Mhm.
become different because,
More experience,
Yeah.
more knowledge, understanding.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of all of that, and then it becomes more confusing.
You're right. And I think for
For
me,
certain points, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think for me, like when I had little ones at home,
It
I was
easier.
so invested in them. Like everything was about my kids.
Oh, yeah.
Everything was about what they were doing, what activities they had, where they had to be, and you're in control of all that. And then they start to become more independent
Mhm.
and they start having their own lives, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah, so what? You don't need me?
What about
what
me?
About me?
where do I fit in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what and exactly what I'm talking about, the seasons of
Mhm.
parenting.
Mm-hmm.
When people talk about parenting, and again, this is from what I've experienced up to this point.
Yeah.
Parenting is different seasons,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and besides the parenting, if you're not a parent, just a woman,
You're always changing.
the
And growing,
ages,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, all of that balancing as a woman. And I feel like that's changed just as a woman, besides the motherhood, like just as Tanya.
Yes.
And figuring out what you need,
Yeah.
you know, to be centered and whole
Right.
Yeah.
and complete within
Exactly.
yourself.
And to be happy and satisfied
Mhm.
with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I don't know what that answer is. And
Just figuring it out, like
that's
figuring
what
out.
I think I'm trying to figure out right
Yeah.
now. And
Definitely.
that will be for, I guess, our next conversation.